Good morning, everyone. Oh, I haven't shut my door. Hang on. I thought I could hear things going on. Good morning, everybody. How are you all this morning? Oh, dear. Hi, Mum. Hi, Susie. Hi, Holly. Mum's in chatty mood today. That's nice. My name's Lorraine. I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in the Fraser Coast area of Queensland in Australia. So if you ever need any crafting supplies, paper crafting supplies, scrapbooking, that was a long one this morning, supplies, you can always contact me. My phone numbers and my email are in the below box, or there is always the shop with me up here. Just check it though, because sometimes it's not shop with me, sometimes it's join my team. However, at the moment it's shop with me. Hi, Kerry, how are you today? Alrighty, so I'm going to have, if anybody wants to see what cards are being made in the card making retreat, there's a Stampin' Up video on YouTube, and they show you what comes in the kit, and they also show you what cards will be made during the online retreat. So if you're interested in going and having a look at that, just go over and find the Stampin' Up! One and have a look at it. Lots of two-tone paper used, a bit of coloured DSP. Yeah, you get a whole pack of white cardstock. So yeah. Hi, Roz. How are you this morning? Lovely to see you all. I just said to my husband before, this time next week it'll be Christmas Day. Well, there you go. So you'll be down here, Mum, not up there. So now I've got to, when I start, I always get these pop-ups. 37.5 degrees. Oh, you're supposed to get a 41 today. At the moment, we're overcast. There's a breeze, and it's just lovely. Okay, now, before I start, I had Happy Mail yesterday. So this was from Sue. So a beautiful, beautiful card there. And I had to lift this up to see whether it was all done in one or whether it was done in two. But that's wonderful how that all matches up on there. And I do love the Jolly Holly background there as well. So very, very lovely. When Sue comes on, if she comes on, I'll say thank you again. Hi, Glenda. How are you? All right. So this morning I thought I would do one final let me go down to the desk. One final, if I can find it. Oh, this is so awkward. There we go. Yeah, so I'm going to do the large horse today. Molly, leave your feet alone. She looks at me as if to say I can chew my feet if I want to. So I'm going to have a go with the large horse today. And then I think that'll be it for the week, unless anybody's got any ideas that they would like me to do with this one before I say I'm not going to do any more. So the large horse is a good size. Let me see, what size block am I going to use? Am I going to need to fit on that one? I bet it won't. Nope. You know what? Let me try. Oops. I'll probably fit on this one. This one isn't the biggest block, and it really needs a clean because I don't use this one very often. This is the E block, and I think that horse is going to have to fit onto the E block because it's quite a good size. There we go. Fits on the E block nicely. So I wasn't sure what I was going to put behind it, and I'm still not really sure what colours I'm going to use. However, hi Marlene, how are you today? And Tanya, hi. Yes, I'm not really sure how I'm going to do this, but I do have an idea. I think I'll stick with the same sorts of colours as I did yesterday. So I'm going to be looking at crumb cake and early espresso, if I can find it. There we go. Crumb cake, early espresso, and is that very vanilla? What's this one? Yes, it's very vanilla. Sorry, Molly, I hit you with that, didn't I? I had a feeling I'd picked out the wrong one. Oh dear, all these cards going around. I'm just hoping I've remembered to thank everybody that I've had cards from. My husband goes out to the mailbox and he goes, more for you. Anyway, I've got a little idea of what I'm going to do, so we'll just play with that for today. So it doesn't mean I'm not going to use these other stamps because I'm thinking I still will. But just let me cut the cardstock first. You're very welcome, Marlene. I'm just glad they got out there. I think the Australian ones will get there on time. Not so sure about the overseas ones because, like I said, I was a little bit late in sending them. So I'm going to do the card base in the early espresso. So we want 5 3/4 by 8. There we go, by 8. And I'll fold that. So with the stamp set, this is just a stamp. It is just a stamp set. There are no dies to it. So today I'm actually going to fussy cut the horse. That could be interesting. Now, the next layer I'm going to do is going to be with the crumb cake. Oh, look at the back of that. Just as well, no one's going to see it, hey? So I need this at 3 1/4 by 5 1/2. So let's do 3 3 3/4 by 5 1/2. Let's go this way. All right, so that gives us that there. Now, what I want to do, I do want a top layer as well. So I'm just thinking, because I need this to stand out. All right, I'm going to do it not as I was going to do it as a band, but so let's do 3 1/2 by 5 1/4. And this is my top layer. So today I'm going to do it that way. we're going to have a landscape instead of a portrait today. All right, so to start off with, I'm going to mask off a piece in the center here. And to do that, I can either, let me see what I've got here. There's those big, here they are. I could try it with this, but I'm not game. So what I'll do is so what I want is about, how big is that? That's 3.5. So if I was to do an inch at the bottom, where's that pencil? I put it all away, that's why I can't find it. An inch at the bottom and an inch at the top, and what's left is going to be my band. So that should be 1.75 inches. Goodness me. So just let me mark an inch at, this is just so that I know where to put the mask across. All right, so the mask is going to go across here. Does that look straight? No, because that one's too high up. Didn't think it looked right. Okay, I wish it would go that way actually, but it won't. So I'm going to put it like this. I'm going to put that down. It should stick this side, and this side I will stick it with some tape. Actually, I'll probably stick it both sides with some tape. So it's just so that I've got this in the middle, that's all. What all these bits are that are floating around my desk, and it's not cat hair for once. So that's that one. And then I've got this one, which is going to go up there. I have no idea what that number and that is on there, but it doesn't matter. Clearly I don't need it if I can't remember what it is. And then I'm going to put this one on here because we don't want this to lift. It's going to be, instead of putting a piece of DSP, I suppose, putting that in there. Don't put it over that, Lorraine. Done the same there. We don't want it over that because otherwise we won't get any ink on there. So just keeping it off of that middle piece. You're going to be quiet today. How are you feeling, Roz? Oh, look at that. We have Susie D. Not Lady Egypt. It worked, Suzanne. It worked. Yoo-hoo. All right. Now, to start with, I'm going to do this band. So I'm just going to do it in like the green. What am I going to do with it? Maybe a little bit of that, and I'll just do 2 greens, I think, because I want this to look a little bit like, well, it is going to look like a background, isn't it? I want it to. Let me get out a piece of paper to muck around on. It did. It sure did, Suzanne. Okay, I'm just going to do like it will sort of all, in the end, it will all be filled in, but there's going to be other stuff going on here as well. So I don't want it to be too dark. This is just what I'm using is Secret Sea, so that just gives us that little bit of darkness in the background. Now let me get my green one out. See what I've got on there. Not much. So I'll do a bit of, this one's Mossy Meadow. Do a little bit of Mossy Meadow in there. And hopefully you'll see in a minute why I just wanted like a background. So a little bit of Mossy Meadow. And I'll do a little bit of Old Olive. Just to give it that, you know, it's at any point during when I'm doing this, I want to pull it off and see, and see how it's going. But we're not going to do that. We're not going to take it off at all. Well, we will at the end, but not now. Okay, so as you can see, that's going to be our strip through the middle. Now, see, that looks wider than that. Or maybe it's just my eyes. We'll see. Okay, now we need the other stamps, because what I'm going to do on here is I'm going to use the stamps that I've used over the last few days and randomly place them. So I don't know so much about the fence, but definitely going to use the little building. Definitely pop a couple of trees. We can do the horses. I think, yeah, I think that might be it for now. You know what? I'm going to measure this because I am, yeah, that's 1.5. Oh, it's slightly off. Never mind. All right. So all I'm going to do now is just randomly stamp these. So the tree, and some will be on there completely and some will be off. So this is Mossy Meadow, and I'm just going to randomly put a couple of trees on here, like so. And then the house, or the barn, or whatever it is, I'm going to do in pecan pie. So we might have one there, and we might have maybe another one up there, like that. I might need something else in there. And then with the Secret Sea, I'm just going to do the horses. I love the Secret Sea. So we'll just do, actually they look quite blue up there on there. A couple of the horses like that. Didn't print very well. Don't go over it, Lorraine, just leave it. No, I'm just going to leave that. So, all right, look at this. Oh dear. All right, so that is what we've got there. I'm just going to give those horses a bit of a colour. I can work out what to use. So this is light Cajun Craze. I'll just give him a little bit of colour. And then, oh, well, I might as well do, they're not all going to be the same, so I'll do the bigger one this time. My husband's looking through the window to see if the dog's here. And then I'll just use the darker one. Because these are so small, you can't really put any detail on them. Little legs there. And then this one. My goodness. I'm hardly touching it to get that colour on those legs there. All right. So that is that. So we've got a little bit of a background there. Where are we? Hi, Kim. It's funny, I always have to write notes too if I'm going away. Yes, I think we'll all be thinking of Roz. Kim's getting dinner. Ooh. Or you're going to a play. Oh dear. All right, so I think that might be about it. So it might do just a little bit. A little bit more of that in there, maybe. All right, the big reveal. Let's see what we've got. Hopefully we've got a bit of a countryside. See, I didn't put it right at the top there. It doesn't matter. It's not going to worry me. Well, it might, but I'm not going to let it. And that one coming out of there. So that gives us a nice strip through the middle of the card. So yes, of course, I'm going to be covering some of it up, aren't I? But I had an idea about that, but then yes. And you see here that needed to take that green just up there a little bit more, but if I try and do it now, it's not going to work properly. So all right, so that's what we've got so far. We're going to have that across the center of the card. So there you can see I had a bit of tape there, and the tape went slightly over there. That's why we try not to. All right, so that's going there. Now we're going to stamp the big boy. So I'm going to stamp him onto this, and I'm going to use, what am I going to use? Might stamp him in pecan pie. Now I haven't used him before, so I'm just going to do a bit of a smoosh here to get rid of anything that might be on that stamp. Let's have another go. Actually, when you look at it, there's not much ink actually goes on from that stamp. You know what? I've got ink everywhere this morning. Got it all in my hands now. So just let me stamp that and see if it's a reasonable stamp. Yep, it is. But I'm going to change the colour. I'm going to do it in grey. So I'll just clean that stamp off. And I'll get out the basic grey. So I think that will be better. I think I'm going to like that better. Make sure there's ink on every part. See how we go. That's better. I can work better with that, I think. Enjoy the play, Kim. Oh dear. All right. So I'm just going to stamp this. I'm going to stamp it low down in case I have to go again because, like I said, I have to fussy cut this and I have to really colour it because I can't leave it. And I don't have a lot of browns. I don't have any browns, actually. I only have these more orangey colours, but that's okay. I can deal with that with the horse. So I'm going to use the dark Cajun Craze, and I'm just going to go over these darker bits of the mane and where they've actually put the darker bits for us to do. Look at his lovely little ears sticking up like that. So under here and down here, under his belly. It's really funny because before I even looked at this morning, I was trying to think now, if the sun was shining on the horse's back. So just a little bits in here. I'm not really colouring that. I'm just dotting it. And this down here. Definitely in here. And a few bits down here. I should really probably only do a little bit at a time so that I can get the best out of the blend, but it's fine. All right, so now I'm going to go for the dark pumpkin pie and go in on top of that just to get, might do his face a bit lighter. Come down here and do and all I'm doing is just touching some areas because I'm going to do some other colour in here as well. Not a lot, but I just want him to, he can be several colours. He doesn't have to just be one. And then on top of that, I was going to do the, oh no, that's Timid Tiger. That might be too orange. All right, let me do the light pumpkin pie, and let's see how we go with that. So I want that on there just to blend those other colours. Now I'm using the paintbrush end at the moment because it is easier on the larger areas. Well, I find it easier. I mean, obviously you do you. I use both sides. Sometimes I'm happier using. I want something a little bit lighter now. That is about the lightest, I think. What else have I got in here? What's this? Peach pie. Light peach pie. Let's give him a bit of light peach pie. Oh, that looks good. Oh, I might just bring that over and then pop that in these areas where I've left a bit of the light. Oops. Come on, blend. And sometimes it doesn't look as though it's blended straight up, but then once it's dried a little bit, you can see where it has. And I think that will do for him. Miracle on 34th Street. Okay. That sounds like fun. All right, I just want to do, I want to do his bridle. Oh, that was a bit thick. Thought I had the other end. And then we can do his hooves as well. Does that look too bad? See if I can go over it a bit more with the I didn't want that to be like that, really. But anyway, we'll leave it at that for now. Otherwise, I've got to do the whole thing again. I'm going to take a pair of scissors, if I can find them, under all my... I tidied this desk so that I would know where everything was today. And can I find stuff? No. Put those in there. Put that up there. Those back there. And the scissors have to be here because they do. And I don't know what that was that just landed on the floor. All right. When you were in grade 12, you went horse riding. When they saddled your horse, it wasn't tight enough. Oh, oh dear. So you slid. Hi, Karen. How are you this evening? Lovely to see you. So you slid, Kim, did you? Right, I'm just going to quickly cut this horse out. Like I said, there are no dies for this, so it's going to be fussy cut. And I'm not going to leave too much of a border. But just enough. You're going to lose it anyway because I think you're going to find he's wider than the strip. So the bit that I leave will actually go out. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to cut that straight across there and keep going. And then I'll go up in the tail area afterwards. Sorry, I'm off screen. And if I'm not talking, it's because my tongue's between my teeth. Oh, dear. And then back up in here. That would be scary, Kim, the first time something like that happened. Hi, Sue. I can see you're on here. Can you? Is Sue here? Sue? Yes. Oh, I can't see. No, sorry. I thought I saw Sue come in. That's seeing Susie D. So for anyone who still wants to know how to do that, if you go into your YouTube channel, click on your your picture or whatever you've got up there, like some of you just have a blank or a letter, go into that, click on it, and then go down that list of things that it's got there. It's got like name and this and that and something else until you come to the one that says handle. When you come to the one that says handle, leave the at in there, although Suzanne, I think, took it out to start with and it still worked, but just put it back in. And put what you want in there, and then press publish, and you've been able to change it. So it's quite simple. It will tell you if you can't have a certain one. Because like yesterday it said to Suzanne there was one that she couldn't have, but yeah, she chose that. It does offer you an alternative, which is good. So Suzanne, did Paul get his pizza all right last night? So I'm just cutting into here because I don't want to leave a lot of white, and it's a narrow little space up there in his tail. Hi, Lynn. All right, so we've got the horse. So what I wanted to do was pop him up over that, and I'm just sorry, my fingers stuck down. Hate it when they do that. I'm going to pop him on here. So I was going to put him on, what do you think? I was going to put him on a disc, but I think it'll cover up too much of the underneath. So should I just pop him onto dimensionals and have him so that you can still see what's underneath? You can see the trees, you can see the buildings. What do you think? Let me know. So that will sit on there like that. And while you're letting me know that, see, I did have an idea of putting like a belly band around this piece here so that you could actually slide the horse backwards and forwards. Might be worth a try. I might try that at another time. It was just a thought. But yeah, so that's what I thought we'd do today. And then the sentiment is the one that we haven't used yet, the nice long one here, which says from the heart, which I really like that one. So okay, yep. So I'll put this one on there and I'll do a So Sue is here, yes? Sue, yes. Thank you very much, Sue. I got your beautiful card yesterday, sorry. Absolutely gorgeous. I love the colours. I love the soft sea foam. And I was saying before I had to be a little bit cheeky and lift that up to see if you actually stamped underneath, but you've matched that up so perfectly. It's just wonderful. So yeah, that's what I was thinking, Roz, sort of make a bit of a slider card. But this set was a big maybe for me, but you think it's a yes. I love it, and a lot of people do like horse. Oh, look, I missed a bit in there. Ooh. Yeah, I'm very much a countrified person. So in the UK, I come from the New Forest, so I was brought up in the country. And if my mum's still on here, we used to do bike rides and all sorts of fun stuff. We used to do walks. We used to go logging and all sorts of stuff like that. Go picking blackberries. My brother and I used to scrump apples, but don't tell my mother that one. So I think I'm just going to actually pop him up like that. I don't think I'll put him on a circle because I don't want to cover what I've done on the other bit. So let's have a go. Does anyone else ever run over their own foot with their chair? Seriously, Lorraine? All right, so a few of these on here. So I'm going to put quite a few because I don't want him to be sliding around. And obviously I'm going to need some smaller ones like for up here. So let me get some minis out. Oh, that's funny. A Kentucky Derby. Oh, do you call it Derby or Derby? Now, I'm going to check this when I put it down just to make sure that none of these show. And I'm actually going to put some little glue dots on the ends of his feet because I don't think the and I'm putting a lot on because I just want to make sure he sticks. This one, let's roll them up a little bit. 2, oops, them's are sticky. Come on, thank you. Do 3. I haven't, I don't think, Sue. But then when I used the big little things, and I was looking for some inspiration as you do, I couldn't find anybody who had used that either. So I thought, well, Lorraine, you're on your own. But, hopefully someone might see it now and think, oh, I'll have a go with that. Because it is a very good, it's got so many options that you can do with it. I've surprised myself actually that, if you look at it and you think, oh yeah, a horse, and I can do blah blah, and then after that, what do you do with it? But like I said, there's so much that you can do with it. And even now, I've said this will be my last one of these for this week. I'll probably do a fun fold tomorrow, but I've surprised myself at how many different options there have been for me to use it. And it will definitely be one that I will use in the future. So it's not just a oh, I'll just show everybody and then never use it again. There we go. Let's take that off there. Come on, off you come, you little devil. All right. So now all I'm going to do is just place it into the center of here so that you can still see, maybe not the center so much, maybe up a bit like so that you can still see the other things that we've got on there. So we've got the other horses, we've got the thing, we've got the trees, and I think that gives it a nice little background. Virtual card retreat unboxing. Oh, did you watch that, Kerry? I watched it. I had a look to see what was in it. Sarah and someone else was doing the unboxing. Yes. So I think I've said before, one of my new ladies is a scrapbooker and she has horses. So I'm sure this is going to be on her list. She's a very busy lady, so I don't even know if she's seen the photographs yet, but I'll show her. But yeah, she's always out doing something. She reminds me of me when I was her age. She's only in her 20s. And when I was her age, I never stopped. I was always doing something or the other. And she's a bit like I was back then. She's always doing something. All right, now we're going. I would actually like to put that straight down on there. I don't know if I'm game. What do you think? Do you think I should try it? I'll do one. And see how easy it is to well, that worked. Okay, wish me luck. Keep everything crossed. Make sure I've got plenty of ink. Put that down there. And look at that. Now I can breathe again. They nearly had you convinced. I think Sarah was very excited, or she's very good at being excited. Whichever way you want to look at it. Yeah. I'm still not sold on it. So if I could have seen something there that I couldn't do myself, sort of thing, then maybe I would have been tempted. It did turn out well, didn't it? I'm very skeptical when I stamp straight onto something. Don't put that on there, Lorraine. Goodness me. So I'll see if I can do an insert. See if I've got enough here to do an insert. Let's see. Oh, yeah. Oh, no, hang on. No. Not that piece. Get another piece. That was lucky. I think this one's too narrow. It's 3 1/4. I don't want it. No, it's 1/2 inch too little, so we'll get another piece. So what I do when I've got pieces like this, I cut them into sizes. I should have looked down in my little box, but I didn't. What am I going for? 5.5 by 3 3/4. There we go. This is just going to be. I think I might have used a different color then, but that's okay. I've used basic beige, I think. Doesn't matter. So that can go in there like that. And what will I put in there? Maybe I'll just put a little house and a little tree. A little tree. And a house. There we go. Oh, this is a bit much for an insert, isn't it? Getting more for their money on this one. There we go. Oh, yeah, I can understand that you're afraid, and thank you for that. Thank you, Marlene, as well. Thank you, everybody. Yeah, horses are big, and I can fully understand. I mean, I've come off many, many times. I don't want to count how many, and I've got stitches and goodness knows what else. But it's perfectly understandable. They're a big animal, and you know, people say, "Oh, this horse never gets spooked." I've had horses spook on me just because they don't like the color of a plant. I mean, like seriously. I used to ride a horse. I got so used to him that I used to choose to ride him so that nobody else would. Um, and he hated the yellow. And in England, we have the gorse bushes. And yeah, and he, to get him to go past the gorse bushes every time we went out, he was all right by the end. Like you could eventually he would eventually just go and not worry about it. But yeah, and they're a big animal. My husband hates them. I won't tell you what he says about them. Um, to be honest, Kim, I forget. I forget to do the envelopes. So it's something that I really must take a bit more notice of. Is doing, and I love to see that I love to see the envelopes done. So and it's just something that I haven't got into yet. I always used to put a stamp. I used to have a kitten, a cat, with a ball of wool, and I always used to stamp all my envelopes with that. But it was sort of like a signature stamp. It wasn't anything to do with what was inside. But it's a lovely idea, and I absolutely do love it. All right, I don't know what we can do. I mean, obviously, we don't need bling with this. Thank you. Don't know whether we should, sprinkle some Winker Stella, but I think it's okay as it is. I think it's one of those less is more. And there's our insert. I won't even colour in what's in there. So that is me for today. Look at that. I'm finished on time. Thank you so much, everybody. I appreciate that. And if I've, let me come. There we go. If I've convinced you that it is a nice set to have, then albeit, I'm happy. I think, hang on, I'm just grabbing something. I think that I'm always doing it. No, I don't want that one. That one's not for me, blah, blah. And then I see someone else use it. But I need to see several reasons or several ways that I can use it. That one was a prototype. And that one. And yeah, so I'll just pop that back down to the desk so that you can see all of them. I will put today's I need horseshoe bling. Yes, Granddad had horses. So he had two horses. He had Winston and he had Oliver. So, and I used to ride. My youngest auntie is only 18 months older than me. So she used to take me out. She used to ride and I used to ride, and that was the start of it, I think. Grandad also had donkeys. He loved donkeys, didn't he, Mum? Just let me pop down just for a second so that you can see. So that's all the cards. So this one was a prototype, which I did beforehand. This one we did yesterday, but then we used up the bits that I hadn't already used, and we did the plain one, and this is today's. So that's basically we've got one, two, three, if not four cards that we can make out of it. Bye, Marlene. See you soon. All right, I'll come back up to the top camera if I can find it. There it is. Alrighty, so that's me for today. I'll see you all again tomorrow with something new. Not sure what yet. And take care of you. Take care of your own people and those around you. Lovely to have you with me, and I will see you again tomorrow morning, 9:30, unless something happens and I have to change it. Alrighty, thank you so